Hello everybody, welcome back to From Rhythm to Algorithm. We continue on with our derivation. So I thought a good place to start today would be an example of what I'm talking about. Obviously the things I'm saying are overwhelmingly apparent physically, specifically rhythm, or really anything that I'm saying, because physics again is present to everybody. And all I've done is demonstrated the correct ontology, demonstrating the consistency of language. But at my parents' house we play a lot of board games. And so one of the games we recently picked up, I got it for like a house gift for specifically my mom, but a house gift for us to play, is this game called Sequence. And so we've been talking extensively about sequentiality versus Statisticality, of being a series or versus being a sequence, which we've talked about the intuition behind it up until this point. I get it just not being really well defined. My intuition says that everything's theoretical or everything's in a series. You don't have anything that is not containing an operation. Like numbers represent physical systems. So if you just randomly write numbers in an order, there's still order to that because you're trying to be random. And so my point being is, what is sequentiality? What is a sequence? And so very literally, again, we can see its sense, S-E-N-C-E, with a Q-U-E stuffed in there. But point being is it's just a series is well defined to me, or is well defined, and sequence is not. But it's interesting because right here in this game, it says, where do we have it? It's once five of the same color marker. Well, the game is you just have cards in your hand, you have little chip markers, and you play your card down and you put a chip on the corresponding card on a board, and you try to get 5 chips in a row. And so once 5 of the same color marker chip have been placed on the board in a connected series, either vertically, horizontally, or diagonally, they have formed a sequence. And so then again in the this little rule book thing, it literally has a sequence defined, and it says sequence, a connected series of 5 of the same color marker chips in a straight line. And so again, when I'm saying these things, these are out in the wild. These dichotomistic pairs of things that are not well defined. You can see language acting as horseshoes and hand grenades. People just getting close enough. But words have meaning. So series means something and sequence means something. Very confident on what series means. What is a sequence? Can you have an order of something without order? No. Like, can you have a list without order or without time dependence or without some sort of operation contained? I don't think so. But point being is these words mean something. And I just thought that was interesting because it just popped right up. And again, it's like you ask a question you're just being honest, genuine, and then there's not a well-defined answer, and you're like, what is going on? But it's because language is differentiating. Things are getting more specific, again, at the species level. And so that was interesting and fun. Moving on with our derivation. Sensorality is cognality. Cognition, knowledge. Cognality is cognitionality. Cognition, ignition. Ignition starts. Sensorality is scientisticality. Scientistic, statistic. Sensorality is statisticality. Statisticality counts. Statistic, static. Vibration is staticality. Static buzzes, right? Big, easy empirical evidence. You turn on an old analog TV and you're looking for a channel. You're looking for a signal. And you have one of those, the ant races or whatever you want to call it, but just a static noise channel with a black and white thing is kind of buzzing. Just think about that. Static buzzes. Bass buzzes. When I'm telling you about I'm going to my cousin's wedding and we can't hear because my internal dialogue has synchronized, and then so it's like I have to raise my voice. But bass buzzes, that bass level, that vibration, the overall volume of the room around you buzzes. And that buzz in your ear is the same for everybody. Hype buzzes. Type is style. Type is font. Typing is texting. Texting is communication. So again, these are what I call theorem overloads. It's just 20 theorems hit you out all at once. But typing is texting. That's what again, fundamental to me just means frequent, words that people use the most often. And so, typing as texting is a fundamental theorem. I mean, these are all fundamental theorems, but it's very, you can easily appreciate that, right? Technology, computers haven't been around all of that long. So typing is specific to a computer and texting is typing on your phone. But again, emergence of these words that are theorems, relatively new. Texting is communication. Communication transmits. Transmission is connection. Connection is communication. Nothing is touching, everything is connected. Every system communicates with every other system out there in the world. Mass transmits information. Massive is informative. I don't even mean massive like big, just massive like contains mass. Sensorality is ormality, O-R-M-A-L-I-T-Y. Just, again, obviously taking out a chunk of information. Abuse torments. Torrent. A torrent is a proxy. Proxy, approximate. About is approximate. Guessing approximates. Minimality, right, very clearly last several episodes been deriving around or talking about completeness. What establishes completeness? Minimality and maximality establish completeness. Bounding completes. Complete, contemplate, talked about that. Contemplation, temptation. Bounding completes, just did that. Containing completes, right? When I'm on there, on my notation, the reason some of them are like blue, those are the ones that are like axiomatically relevant. I'm trying to keep them some specifics. It doesn't really matter that much. But then I have the white boundary in the same way, like geometric proof, you don't include the boundary or you do. I'm trying to show I'm trying to show you like how quick these things get proven on a personal level, but it's hard to because I've already proven all of the fundamental intuitive ideas. It's just the actual linguistics, and it does get repetitive and redundant. But I can just physically sense the newness, even if it's a theorem verbatim that I said like 2 episodes ago. So I try to skip those ones, but the boundaries on my notation, when they go from a white boundary to a black, that's trying to show some sort of bounding, including the boundary in the same way you do with like an end polygon. You show a geometric proof like that. But it doesn't really matter if you're don't hang your hat on that too much. But done is complete. Completing finishes. Sensorality is completality. Speciality is complicationality. Complete, complicate. Complicate, implicate. Liability implicates. An implication is a consequence, right? A sequence well defined. How about consequence? Right? And so it's like, what is a sequence? Consequence. Or then what is the difference between a series and sequence? What can be said that we haven't already said? And so this is where the linguistics comes into play. Something will just pair up to something and it'll be undeniable. What is sequentiality? Well, I don't know what sequentiality is, but it sounds close to quench. Satisfaction quenches. Gripping clenches. Clinching is clutch. Clutching shifts. Right? Go in your car and your manual transmission, don't forget to press the clutch. Shifting changes. All right, now getting back to our intuitive definition, right? What is censorship? Censorship restrains. Sensorality is restraint. Restraint, constraint. A censor is a constraint. Restraints constrain. Censorship restrains. So that is what I have for you today on derivation. Again, I don't like to say too much on the actual just derivation points because, again, words have meaning, and I've showed you this extreme level of consistency throughout it. So I just stick with the theorems now that you've seen that I can do that, or, again, that language is consistent, which includes the complete axiomatization of physics, which has never been done before, which a complete axiomatization of math, which has never been done before, and then you start doing stuff. And then we constructed a proof, and now we're reducing that proof. So again, my rights continue to be violated. I live under profound and extensive stress because of it. It is illegal. There's nothing I can say, there's nothing I can do, and there's no one I can call. So I continue to acknowledge the ongoing crime because it is profound and it is tremendous, and I simply would like to have a career and a family. I have no current expectation that that will ever change, so I'm simply asking for base level financial stability to eat, to sleep, and to work. That is it, and I do not have that. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.